So this year they had the SCCA Runoffs at VIR, which stands for Virginia International Raceway. It's the first year in over 50 years that they've had the SCCA Runoffs, that they've actually held it at this racetrack. So it's really exciting time. It's one of the best road courses in all of America. And unfortunately, the competition runs across Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And unfortunately, it started raining on Saturday and into Sunday. And so the T1 competition, which is the one that I focus on, because that's the racing series that I want to perform in, is second to last on Sunday. So it got a very wet track, and for them to race at their best for the national championship. So this will be a goal of mine. I want to reach the national championship runoffs. I don't necessarily have to win it, but I want to reach it. And a lot of things give me a lot of encouragement as to that I can reach that level. Plus, personally, there's no expectation that you have to dominate and win your region in order to get to the national runoffs. You just need to participate. You just need, there's specific race requirements as far as starting and finishing races at the various levels to work your way up to your qualify at nationals. But I don't have to be the number one guy coming out of my region. So that's the first thing. Second thing is that when we look at, again, I mentioned before, the different cars that race in T1, several of them, especially at the national runoffs level, have been Mustangs. And so, I have a car that can participate at this level, and there's a particular racer, we'll talk about him in a minute, that has consistently either won this race at the national level or came in second, and he races a Mustang. And so I think that's a lot of different reasons why I can race at a very high level with the car that I have. And as you look at the Mustangs within this particular national runoff race, they're not even the S550s from 2015 on that I currently own. They're the older Mustangs, and they still perform at a very high level at the national level. So there's no reason why I can't, with my 2015, get to that point. Do extremely well regionally, and do well enough to get to nationals and feel confident that I should be in that race. I have not put a time frame around when I expect to get to nationals, but certainly I'm excited about my new goal. That's my new goal. So as you can see, there's going to be quite a bit of different types of cars here at the national level racing. And so let's talk about them.
Track. So I would expect to see this drying off, particularly maybe from about midpoint on.
Okay, so we'll see how that plays out over the course of 15 laps or 40 minutes, whichever comes first. That's a good
so
look at
as I mentioned before, one of the top drivers in all of America races in SCCA. His name is Andrew Aquilani, and he is a master within several different racing series within SCCA. He races P2, he races T1, he races T2. There's not a car that he can't race and do well in. In fact, at P2, he races a Corvette. So he'll race a Corvette in P2, and then he'll race Mustangs in T1 and T2. and he'll win. And it's also shown me that you can win even with whatever car is put in front of you, if you have the technique, proper technique, professionalism in racing, can understand how to maximize whatever car you happen to be in and use the benefits of that car in order for you to come out on top. Alright, so as these cars are going down the track behind the pace car, you can see the different types right there in front of you. You got Andrew Aquilani and his Boss 302 Mustangs 2013. You got an M3, you got a Nissan NSX, you got a Corvette, you got another M3, the E46 M3, another BMW E43. You got that previous generation Ford Mustang, another BMW, a Camaro, another Mustang, M3, and then you got a Mazda MX-5 Miata that's out there, which is just amazing that they feel comfortable to race that thing out there. I'm sure it's going to do well. And then behind it, you have a Shelby GT350. You've got a, I don't know what that car is. Is that a Nissan? You got a Nissan behind that. I think it's a Sentra. A Nissan Sentra behind that. And then we've got, let's see,
12th starting spot, Timothy Rubwright from Kutztown, Pennsylvania, the BlueKnobAuto.com Ford Mustang. In 13th, Christina Lamb from Springfield, Virginia, in the high-speed motorsports BMW E46 M3. And 14th starting spot.
No, that's a Toyota Corolla. That's a Toyota Corolla all-wheel drive. Then you've got another Mustang behind it. And so, and then a Viper, ACR. So, over half the field is made up of Mustangs and BMW M3s at the national level. So, again, these cars, everyone's, you know, they've obviously vetted them out, racing them all throughout the season, locally, regionally, nationally, a couple times, and here we are at the national championships, and these guys are about to go toe-to-toe against each other. It's going to be fantastic racing.
Had stopped, but it is actively and genuinely raining right now, so any hope of drying, I think, is probably gone for this short race. Finally, towards the back, you just called Chris Eden's out. They say rain is the great equalizer. He's in a turbo Mazda Miata in this race, which generally doesn't have the pace for dry racing, but he's an autocrosser. Adapting is his skill. He could be fun to watch.
And adapting is going to be crucial. Drivers will tell you, if it is raining consistently throughout the race, it's a challenge, but at least you know what to expect corner to corner. When it's raining, then drying, then raining again, raining harder, raining less. You never know what the grip level is going to be.
You never know, and not only that, but this is a very large racetrack, over 3 miles in length and over 2 miles from end to end. So it can be raining on one end and not on the other, and vice versa at any point in time with the way the rain has been coming and going here. So one time you can go through a turn, it can be one way. The next time you go through the turn, it can be the other way. So it's going to be super challenging. I'm glad that Tom mentioned Chris Eden's there in that Miata, because that was going to be my dark horse in this race. Those guys have done a great job. Nobody, it's kind of the oddball out here. You're looking at, these are all in this class, these are the fastest production cars that come out of the major manufacturers, but in the least modified form. So it's sort of an extension of the old showroom stock category, but with a few bolt-ons now allowed for both for performance parity and also safety. It was first run back in 1996, but Mazda Miata was not part of that equation originally, but this turbo car may have what it takes.
Really fascinating to watch how the cars adapt throughout the course of this race.
So as these cars line up, as they get ready in their starting positions here, 1, 2, 3, 4, they pair up, and the lead pace car will peel off to the side, as it just has. We're getting ready to start this race, and so the lead, the number one car, is allowed to set the pace before, as the green flag is shown, before it takes off. So he sets the pace, how fast as he wants to go, and then he takes off. And so here we go.
T1 championship race. We are underway. The jump to Aquilani off the start. He's got
The
both
most
to the
dangerous
outside,
point in
both
any
go in that
race
part of the
is the
track
first
that
turn.
typically is run on, maybe in the wet. That's
Let's
not
see if
where they
everybody can
want
get
to
through
be. He
cleanly
makes
through
it
the
stick
first
here
turn without
through the
hitting
first
each other or
part of this
spilling off, being too
carousel. Turn
aggressive,
1 and 2
either
at
too
VIR.
aggressive toward each
Aquilani able
other
to
or
get
too
away
aggressive
2 by
for the
2
track
deeper in the
before their
field, but a
tires
nice
really
clean
are warmed
start
up.
given the
Looks like no
conditions.
one made any
Aquilani
major
leading Bowden, and right
mistakes
behind
there,
him
so
another
good.
BMW, then the NSX, and here's a good battle for 5th with the 74 of Murray taking a peek to the inside.
Yeah, Olsen falling back.
Oh, looks like a few
onto
people
the
are
car,
skidding around.
Mid-engine NSX, but falling back at the start. Again, that's likely that lack of track knowledge as he comes here from California and has zero experience here in the wet.
Definitely the edge to the locals who have run in
You
these
can already see
conditions.
Andrew has already got built up a big lead already. It really helps obviously being the first position. You know, you're not pacing yourself behind the previous car if they can't get through these turns so quickly. So your pace is your own when you're the first car, as long as you stay in front.
Turns out to be an advantage as we have had the weather roll in somewhat unexpectedly. Looking earlier in the week, the forecast was not for rain, but gradually that chance increased to the point where we were expecting it here today, and it has arrived.
Yeah, in fact, Mark Bowden, one of those folks that was here, he's running in second currently. One of those folks that was here earlier, looking for redemption this year because he was third last year running.
Oh, there's a car already spun off.
off.
Oh, that's the NSX.
That is at the entrance to Oak Tree.
Now that happens to be the gentleman that won last year, number 49 NSX Turbo Challenge car. He won the touring class last year at his home track out there in Sonoma against Andrew. And he had the best qualifying time, start off in position 1, and no one could beat him. No one could catch up to him. So he won last year's national championship. Looked like he spun off here in the first lap of the championship for this year.
Started back in 9th, and I had him up battling for 5th just a few moments ago. Curious to see where it all shakes out when they come around to complete a lap.
That's only one lap here so far, and we've already had a lot of cars having a lot of trouble. But again, this is the national championship runoffs. This is the big deal for these guys for all year. They work up to this, so they're going to give it all every single lap.
39 right there. That is Baton crossing the line to complete his first lap of this event.
You see them taking their time around. This is turn 1 again. Around this turn, they know it's treacherous, making that 180-degree turn there.
Baton, Thompson, Candelaria, and Rubbright, your top 10 at the end of one lap.
Not that surprising. Andrew Aquilani has pretty much owned this class for about the last 6 years. The only times he hasn't won were one time at Indy had a mechanical issue, and then last year the Olsen car was kind of a rules loophole car at the time. That's been addressed in the off season.
All right, so here we are at 13 minutes even on the racetrack.
This class year after year after year.
All right, so we got some battles heating up here. We've got Mustangs and M3s going at each other's necks. They're definitely picking up their speeds. They get more and more confident going around the track. Even though it's very wet, rainy conditions, they're figuring out where the slippery spots are and where they can get grip.
With the car that stands out, it's the black sheep, if you will, of this class, and it's awesome to see that kind of innovation. There's maybe the consensus.
Oh, the little slip there by the BMW. I saw that tail come out a little bit.
That, you know, there's more than one way to go about it.
That Mazda is putting a lot of heat in that BMW. And, you know, a lot of times, you know, that's all you need to do is you don't necessarily need to pass somebody. Sometimes just making them nervous by being right up there behind them. They're going to make a mistake where you can take advantage of it. Oh, here's that NSX coming back in the race. It just passed the GT350. So last year's winner is Holland Trail. He's trying to make up for that lost time when he spilled out on the first lap of the race.
Yeah, remember he had the spin on the opening lap, so a nice.
All right, here we go. Oh, they're approaching. Okay, these guys they're going. Okay, they're going through the start-finish line. With 13 laps to go, and then they're going to approach turn 1. So let's see what we got here.
Notice the
as
trailing
these guys are
car has
picking up their
windshield wipers,
pace.
but the 74, no windshield wipers on.
Here's
They're
turn
relying
one.
strictly on the special chemicals that they can put on the windscreen in order to.
Oh, he lost grip. He's off.
Unfortunately, it doesn't give
74, the Mustang's off.
He outbrakes himself.
Oh my goodness. Oh, a BMW followed him. Off. Oh, another car went off. Oh, the Toyota Corolla saved themselves. Oh my goodness. That Mustang, that Camaro almost went off. And then the Corolla almost went off, but it saved itself at the last second. The all-wheel drive Corolla. Wow, I wonder if they followed each other's racing line and got caught with no grip, because they all came in that same racing line and had no grip coming through turn one. Okay, here's the replay.
This looks like you said,
Mustang slowing down, kind of switching. Oh, he couldn't slow down fast enough. The BMW behind him could, and he went off. And so did everybody else. He was coming into, in my opinion, probably coming into that turn too fast and could not slow down quick enough. So now the Camaro and Toyota jumped 2 spots.
Dark at Sebring back in the day when there really were no lights at Sebring, and couldn't see where he was going, was following another car and just assumed that car knew where he was going, and then all of a sudden 4 cars end up off in a swamp somewhere because
again, sometimes just being in the rearview mirror is enough to make someone push just a little too hard, make a huge mistake that you can just easily capitalize upon. And you did not even attempt to pass them. You just put pressure on them by being in the rearview mirror enough laps to do that. Wow, look at the camber settings on that Camaro. That Toyota's got quite a bit of camber on his front wheels too.
From Carmel, Indiana. Able to pull away a little bit here through this section, the roller coaster.
Thompson there in that all-wheel drive Toyota Celica, as Tomo said, loving these conditions. He is up to 8th place from 18th.
And that was
huge.
That was the
Again, they allow different cars to race at T1. So it's a long list of cars that they allow to race in each of these classes. So literally you can bring any car you want, and there's going to be a class out there for you that is going to be available for your car to immediately be able to be involved. So that's great news. You know, it doesn't have to be only 2 miles accepted in each group of racing. No, there's a wide berth of cars allowed, different horsepower ratings, different weight, different years in production.
And pass them on a straightaway. This is coming up through the upper S's. As you notice there, every single one of those turns in these upper S's has a bit of a rise and fall over it. Always challenging, even in the dry, but in the wet, the car gets light as you come over there, and you lose traction just for a moment. So if you're not perfectly positioned and anticipating it, you're going to slide right off the track in these conditions.
For Andrew, 2 poles and 2.5 laps away from 2 wins at the runoffs in 2019. That's an awfully nice haul. He is building up an impressive resume for himself in a relatively short amount of time.
Yeah, this is his 20th, actually 21st start now in runoffs. He's had 12 podiums prior. So pretty much every time he comes to the line, every other time he brings home at least a podium. And in this class, for the longest time, he's been almost unbeatable unless something odd has happened.
All right, so as Andrew, the race leader, with 3 laps to go, is approaching the start-stop. He just passed it. Now it's 2 laps to go. Here we go. Last 2 laps of the race. And again, if you got a large lead out there, you know, what do you decide to do? Do you keep deciding to push it? You know, I would say yes, because you never know what can happen to you. But a lot of
Guess how many wins
drivers,
has he
they,
had in those? 6
start taking it a little
starts?
easier
6
because they don't want to
wins, 6
make a huge
poles.
mistake.
So,
And I'm not
2 for
saying
2
that's wrong
perhaps
to do
here
either.
at the runoffs.
But those are the kind of things you have to
Just a
think
little
about when
under
you're out
2
there in
laps
the lead.
remaining.
Or maybe you are
Seems to be in
thinking,
a fine rhythm.
maybe I'm happy with second place, or maybe I'm happy with third place. I don't want to make a mistake.
Let's give Mark Bowden some
But just
credit. He's
remember,
had some
whoever's
very
behind
good
you,
pace
they're still
the last
racing
few
as hard as
laps.
they
He
possibly
was
can to
rated a
catch you.
2:16.3.
So you may
Pretty much
want
everyone
to,
else is
let your
2:20
foot off
or
the pedal,
above.
but it
He
looks
had
like
Kelly in
Andrew's
fourth
going
running
all
just
out
below the
here.
2:20 mark.
So
Aquilante and Bowden are in a
I don't think
class by
anyone's
themselves.
surprised that he's
Two
in the
mid,
lead.
2 team mids.
And
Everybody else
looks
is
like he's
220,
about to
basically 5
win
seconds
another
slower,
championship.
Than those guys, and everybody else kind of circulating at about
So
the
he's
same
almost
pace,
to the start
220,
stop
219 high,
of
221 low.
he's going to come down
Range,
here
all there
and then
throughout
make
the top 10.
another right.
Well, this
And
was
then
Sports
he'll
Car
be on
Magazine's pick to win.
the long
I'm not sure they
stretch
predicted the
that
rain.
goes
Right.
before the
And that
start and
really
stop.
was the one wrench in any
flags.
kind of predictions
So
for
let's see
this
if my
particular
memory-
race today.
Okay, we
Because
switched
based on
over
his
to
qualifying
guys in
and
second. Mark
pedigree,
Bowden.
quite
Okay.
frankly, we thought it was a good chance that this could be Andrew's
And he's the
day,
M3.
but,
Now this is
we
the
never quite knew what was gonna
E92
happen,
M3
especially at the start. There were a lot
with
of
the
unknowns
V8.
there, and
So
for Bowden, it's been a bit of a quiet race. He
not
made the
surprised
bid
he's
for the
doing
lead
well.
early, couldn't get it done, settled into a rhythm.
Okay, here
and has been
are the
cruising on his own
E46
ever since. This
M3s
is
that
that
got
battle
the
for
straight
third. We
line,
mentioned that Kelly was starting to track
straight
down
inline
Stewart, and
sixes.
that trend
I
has
actually own one of
continued,
these
but it
M3
slowed
convertible.
somewhat. The gap is just
it was
about
a
3 seconds. You can
2003. I
see
love
it
that
right
car.
there. That's enough, though, if you're
Okay,
Stewart.
here's
You
Andrew
see
coming
that
down
car
here
in
to
the
start
rearview mirror,
stop.
You know it's coming. You can't let that get into your head.
He looks
as
slow.
Aquilante has the lights on. Is that car
He's
at
looking
speed?
kind of slow.
It's
I don't
slowing
think it
down.
is.
He is broken.
Oh my goodness.
Okay,
yeah,
one
we
to go.
can't
Oh my gosh,
here
that
at the
Toyota Corolla.
2016
I think there's
runoffs in
he's
Mid-Ohio.
going slow. Maybe he
That
thinks he's
allowed
got
that
enough
to
to
slip
lead here.
away, and Mike
But that
history
Toyota
being
Corolla is just
repeating
about to
itself.
pass him
Just as we
up
were
like
about to
it
crown the
isn't
king.
nothing.
One lap
So,
to go. He
let's
has a
see here.
massive lead. That is the one good
There's something
thing
wrong
for
with his
him. And now
car.
a little bit of traffic that if he can
It's got to
stay
be
ahead of it,
something's wrong with his car.
might serve as a buffer, but that gives
And
you an idea there is
here's Mark
something
Bowden in second.
very wrong with that car. So let's watch Bowden.
This is when it helps to have
the track is he
a
now?
crew
Just into
who
the
can radio
carousel.
ahead to you that says, hey, the guy in
He's
front
got
of you is
plenty
starting to
track
slack
do it.
off.
It's 20
You know,
seconds or so
put it in
the
full
gap.
gear if you can.
But I think it's
Catch
gonna be
him.
closing and closing fast based on what we've seen, unless Andrew can get that car up and moving again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Mark almost lost it.
Mark may take
The
himself
M3
out.
almost
He's
lost it.
careful. Hopefully his crew is talking to
Oh,
him,
look at this.
telling him
There's
what's
got to be
going
something
on.
wrong with Andrew's car.
There
He's
he
not
is,
purpose.
coming up
I
through
don't.
the
Well,
upper
maybe
S.
he
He's
is.
letting
Maybe
other
his
cars
purpose is
by.
slowing
This is
down.
the back
No,
of
he
the
can't
field
be.
that he had already passed.
No.
Oh,
He
this
was
has
racing
to be
hard.
So frustrating, so heartbreaking.
Oh, he's struggling. No, he's not purpose. Oh, here comes
Here's
Mark
Tom
behind him.
Bowden into the picture. He's going to catch him probably up.
Andrew
by
can't even give it any
Southland,
gas.
and for sure by Oak Tree.
Oh, there's definitely something wrong with this car. There's something wrong with this Mustang. This Boss 302.
Of all times to turn those on.
I don't know if it's a gear issue, transmission issue.
You want to make sure that anybody coming from behind
Maybe he threw a piston.
can see him. Bowden.
Oh, he's trying his best.
Sliding
touched
through
Oh
Oak
my
Tree.
goodness. Mark is going to catch him.
This is going to be the pass for the lead with a half
He's
a
gonna
lap
pass
to
him.
go at the runoffs. Mark Bowden zips by
Mark.
on the outside the stricken Mustang of Aquilante.
The M3.
No defense. And for the first time in this race,
Look
Mark
at
Bowden
this.
from Buffalo Grove, Illinois, leads at the runoffs.
He was looking for
Oh,
redemption
Andrew.
last year, and boy, is this it ever.
Mark Bowden, 3-start, 30
And all
starts
Mark's
at
got
the
to do is
runoffs.
make this right.
Two this weekend,
And then
does have a
another left and
championship.
right.
It was in GT2
Oh my gosh.
at Road America back in
Make it come through there
2009.
cleanly.
7 podiums, 12 top, make that 12 podiums, 14 top 5s, 19 top 10s in those previous
Oh,
30
what
starts,
happened to
a couple
Andrew's
poles
car?
as well. And this one is
He's gonna win
to
it.
be memorable for Mark Bowden to
He's gonna win it.
victory in
The M3's gonna win it.
Aquilani breaks down. Bowden takes victory.
Oh, there it is.
At VIR.
He takes the flag.
Finish, as they say, to finish first.
Oh, here comes Andrew.
Here is finishing Aquilante, though, keeping it on track.
Oh, he's got to be
settling down,
sick to
doing what
his
he can.
stomach.
He will finish with a silver medal for his efforts.
And I
today.
guess
If you wonder why he was pushing,
Has to
when he
be
had
something
such a
mechanical.
big lead, building that
Look at him
gap
just,
allowed him
what?
to limp
He
around,
just, why didn't he
get
just stop the
second
car
place,
there?
and then wisely pull off the track so he doesn't do any further damage to that car. Here is third place. This is Stewart. Seems to have plenty of space between himself and Kelly, who is in hot pursuit through Hogpen cleanly.
Looks like
And it
another
looks like
an E46
it will be
M3 is
Stewart
going to take
able
third.
to cross the line, started 6th, comes home in 3rd. Your final
Yep, he got the
medal
checkered
winner
flag,
at the
so he
Runoffs
takes
in
third.
T1 here in 2019. And here's
Oh,
a
here
nice
comes the
turn
NXX.
back. What a day this has been.
Going
for
all
Wilson.
out.
It's not done yet.
Still trying to
find
catch
his
up.
way around Candelaria. Candelaria not so
What a
keen
fighter.
on letting that happen.
Nope.
Slams the door here.
It does
So let's talk
indeed.
about this for
Into
a
the roller
moment.
coaster for the
So
final time.
maybe this is the reason why you should still go all out. You just never know if you're going to have a mechanical failure, or I hope to God not a health scare in the car that kept Andrew from winning that race and he had to slow down.
If something should go awry, here we come. What kind of run can the NSX get? That's the 49 of Olsen trying to trace down Candelaria. Murray waiting behind. He's got to run, but Candelaria's got the ponies. The Corvette holds off the NSX.
So this is why you got to race.
Will come home in
You got to race
8th
every
spot.
lap. Every lap is
Olsen
worth it.
settles for 9th. Murray down to 10th
Wow.
on the last lap.
And I'm looking here at timing and scoring. I see Chris Edens.
Well,
all the way up
congratulations to all these
6th
guys
place,
that made it to national
starting at
runoffs.
14th in
Obviously had a
Miata
hell of a race in the
T1.
rain.
That's pretty cool.
Who could
Fought
have
to the
predicted
end.
that?
Well, Tom
No
did
doubt
out the
about it.
start when he said that, hey, this rain might be
Congratulations,
what he
everyone.
needs. So credit to you, Tomo, down there in the pits.
Look at the excitement. I don't know that Bowden went. I'd love to know when he figured out that, hey, well, I guess when he pulled past Andrew on the back straight, but I'm guessing somebody told him ahead of time.
Well, that's what I'd like to know, too. Did he know that something had gone awry for Aquilante?
Super excited there.
As he should be. That is high drama. Boy, if this race was 14 laps, if this track wasn't 3.27 miles long, I mean, there are so many different factors. But it doesn't matter. The facts are what they are, and Bowden is a champion. Look at that crew celebrating. That means as much to them as it does to the driver.
Thank you.